I saw a kid injured badly, but I just walked past. I was in a walk at a trail yesterday, wasn't remote or anything, it was just a really big park so there wasn't any connection or signal, lots of people bike here, but I was walking. As I was exiting the park, I saw two boys race past me 5 minutes further down the trail. They were lying on the side of the trail, one of them have grazed their knee and face, the other helping him. He was calling for someone, and in obvious pain. Crying. I was going to ask them if they needed help, but I was also thinking, what could I do? I had nothing on me, and I didn't really want to waste my time. So I just walked past. I felt so bad. I still feel so bad. I wish I helped them. I hope they are okay. I stabbed someone's arm when I was a 12-year kid and it's haunting me. I was 12. One year when my father was in the sea, which normally lasted more than 8 months. I was having problems in school with my grades and was constantly getting into fights. To somehow try to fix me, my mother would send me to the pool with a guy who talked to me a lot and had promised to teach me how to swim. Later I would find out that he was her boyfriend at the time. When my father came back, I was already feeling guilty about it, and he made me feel even worse. Then came my grandparents and told me what a huge mistake I made. I was filled with hatred towards the guy and my mother. When my father leaves again, one day he comes and tries to talk to me in my room, but I don't respond. He enters without permission, and that's when I lose it and start attacking him with a pocket knife that I had at the time. I get him out of the house, and once I calm down I realize the knife has blood on it. My mother then tells me that I stabbed him badly in his arm, and she later disowns me. After the incident I got into martial arts, so 7 years later, I'm less violent and more disciplined. Both my parents are out of my life and I'm living with my grandparents. I regret stabbing the guy because he taught me how to swim and seemed to genuinely enjoy spending time with me. Sometimes the scene replays itself in my mind when I'm asleep, and I get traumatic when I wake up, and I don't know why. I just feel like I did something that I didn't intend to do, but at the same I kinda did. That scares me and haunts me. I stole very nice equipment from my high school years ago. I was on a sports team, and for some reason I really wanted 2 nice lacrosse sticks to keep and play at home with my brother. The equipment at my high school was really badly monitored and documented on paper. Basically, I just decided to take one home one day and come back to school and just grab another one for practice. It's been like 7 years since I've taken them home and 6 years since I've graduated. There was this family car that drove by really slowly when I was playing with them, and perhaps it is really obvious they belong to the school, and I'm paranoid that it might be alumni seeing that I stole it 7 years ago. The team kinda got dismantled right after I graduated, so there isn't anyone playing on the team right now. I feel a little worried that if it was an alum's car then they might report me. But is it bad that I don't really feel guilty for stealing them in the first place because those people were just really mean to me while I was on the team? TLDR, stole some equipment from school because it was really nice, and hoping the familiar car who drove by my house didn't see that I stole them 7 years ago. I used a fake phone number so I wouldn't get into trouble when I was grade 6. So basically, me and our class had this report thing, and since I was a nervous wreck, I really didn't know how to thoroughly explain things. So when it was my turn, I just explained it kinda bad, but it was alright I guess. Then the teacher started harshly criticizing me, and since I really didn't know any better, I was pissed. In a notebook where we take notes I basically wrote insults to the teacher. A few weeks later my teacher discovers it and makes a lecture on how she's disappointed on me and such. Since I was a little bastard I didn't really care. My teacher asked for my parents' phone number, but I remembered making a phone number of my own since I wanted to change my password in Roblox. LMAO, I remembered it, so I said it. She said something like, "You are gonna get in trouble once you get home, Kataza." Then when I went home I checked my phone and changed my account to the Roblox phone number. I saw my teacher's message about how your son has been disrespecting me in a notebook that he wrote and such. I made up a fake message saying, "Oh okay, teacher's name. I will talk to Kataza about this. I'm sincerely sorry for my son's behavior." After that, I felt triumphant as she believed it, and I told my best friend how I did it, and we both laughed it off. and I did not get any trouble in my house or school. It was smooth in my mind, but I realized I was being immature on how I just didn't take any criticism on my teacher. And Ms. Reelin, sorry TL, doctor, since my teacher criticized me on a report, I was mad, so I made insults about her on a notebook, so when she discovers it, she wanted to contact my parents, then I used a spare phone number. One had to get out of trouble. I have my college minor listed as my major on my resume. Summary: I graduated college last May, 2019, from a top 10 liberal arts college. I majored in philosophy and minored in math and French. Recently I've been saying I have a double major in math and philosophy, and putting the math major on there has gotten me a lot more interviews lately. First off, before people shit on me for majoring in philosophy, I majored in mathematics, but by the time I realized it was what I wanted to do instead of my economics major, it was too late. The way the math major was structured at my school made it literally impossible for me to major in it at that point, without taking an extra year at school and wasting a ton of money. I hated economics so much though, so I knew I would be more intellectually fulfilled studying philosophy, my other academic passion, since I could still fit the credits in for it and also still get a math minor. I beat myself up every day for not just having majored in math off the bat, but I can't change the past. Now, I do feel guilty for lying to an employer off the bat. However, my current skill set would be virtually no different had I majored in math. Math majors at LAX, for those of you that don't know, are very abstract and don't teach anything useful beyond Calc 3 and linear algebra, which I took both of. Furthermore, I still had a math minor and benefited from the rigorous upper level courses I still had to take regardless to obtain the minor. It wasn't that much different in the end. So, it's kind of dumb. I'm getting more attention because I say I have math major versus a math minor, but I literally would be the same candidate if I was telling the truth, since you don't learn anything useful in the real world in a math major. I've been smoking weed, and I liberated cigarettes from my father. I've been smoking weed on and off for the past 3 years. I started in high school and got busted. My parents took me to a rehab center. I was abstinent for 9 months, but I was off to university, and for the first time I did not smoke to escape the feeling of being trapped. I smoked to enjoy the high. I used weed as a way of dealing with my parents who managed my every action. They knew what was in my heart and mind. That is arrogance to the highest level. I resented the lack of control or influence on my own life. 3 years later their fears of me being an addicted rise again. They forced me to hand over my stash, but weed is legal. 1. I'm not a child. 2. Currently in med school in another country, and the fact that in terms of traumatic events and life-altering situations I'd dwarf every student in my class. I don't smoke when I'm on campus, nor do I smoke when I'm going through an anxiety episode, diagnosed with anxiety, but they don't believe that anxiety is a problem or needs medical intervention and treatment. I only smoke when I'm back with my parents. Now I'm worried that my future will be derailed, and once the quarantine is over I won't be able to go back and finish my course and fulfill a dream I've been working all my life towards. I hit a kid on a water slide and I lied. And I'm still terrified because of the guilt. When I was a child I always hated other children younger than me. In my mind I thought, look at this child, he is very stupid. One day I was in a water park and there were other children who were younger than me. When I was at the water slide, I saw the child at the end of the water slide that I was about to hit, and I thought, oh look at this stupid kid, he tried to get up from the end of the slide. Then I immediately glided and hit the boy. My mother is not angry, she just asked me, why are you sliding? You don't see this child? I know if I say don't check the end of the slide my mom will be mad at me. So I say I checked, but I don't see anyone. My mom trust me and apologized to the father. And everything was fine. The father didn't goes mad. My mom didn't mad. But I'm still terrified that my mom and my brother knew I was lying and I was sorry for the kid. I feel very guilty. The end. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.